Hello there. I had to add myself to the stage. And obviously, I am not in my studio today. So bear with me on today's show because it is a Monday episode of Crypto News with Julie Kennis. I'm your host, Julie Kennis. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. I hope you all are having a great start to your Monday. Mine, however, is off to a bumpy start. They decided they wanted to do construction on the road just outside of my house. So now I cannot leave. I cannot leave. They actually poured some stuff all over the asphalt, and I'm worried to drive my car out there, especially because I literally just washed my car. So, like, luck would have it, I hadn't washed my car in a couple of weeks. I go wash my car, and they tell me, don't drive on this. It's going to get black tar all over your car. I'm a little blurry. Hopefully the connection restores because I am at home. It's not going to be the best, but we get the job done anyway. Hello, Po Man. Hello, Piece of My Mind. Hello, Mike Volmer. Hello, Mama Shadow. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm trapped. I am trapped. That is correct. I am trapped. You guys, if you're new here, smash a subscribe. Help me get to 1,600 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I got a little gnat by my face. Hello, Black Hat team. Thank you all for joining the chat. John Myers is here too. I see you all. Hello, Derp Thing. Hello, Chipper. Hello. Hello. Lovely Monday morning to you. So, let's talk a bit about what's going on in the markets, you guys. So, Bitcoin is testing 64,000 right now. It's currently testing 64,000 at 63,900. Hello, Bill. Welcome in. Yes, I'm trapped here. I'm trapped. I mean, there's worse places I could be trapped, right? I'm trapped at home. I'm trapped at home. My daughter's off babysitting today. She's working her first, like, I don't know, kind of full-time job. And so she's been driving the golf cart to the house to babysit. And so the little boy she's been babysitting, he's a big fan of Paw Patrol. So I had a couple of books and a Paw Patrol book. So she was going to try and come up the golf course to try and get here. There was none of that. None of that. Even like the guys slurrying the road, they were like, yeah, no, don't even drive. Just chill. So I'm like, okay, fine. We're here now. So, yeah, so Bitcoin is at 63, just a hair under 64,000. We have Solana, I believe it was trading at 74, and Ethereum is currently trading at 1869. So, let's talk about the cold card wallet because there was a cold card wallet hack that saw Bitcoin drained. And so normally this would be something where we're saying this is doom and gloom. This is horrible for Bitcoin. Everything we've always said, DCA, be self-sovereign, store it on a cold storage. Well, now here we are. Here we are. And we have, in particular, people that have been drained from their cold storage that's supposed to be safe. But the Bitcoin price didn't dip. It didn't really dip. I mean, it had just a normal dip, but I don't think it was this huge catalyst drop. And then you look at it today, and the price is somewhat kind of recovered. Contract seminar. And when I sat through that, when I sat through the smart contract seminar, there was a lot of the technical jargon that went over my head, but then there's some basic stuff that I understand just because I understand basic coding, like HTML coding and things like that. So I sat through the smart contract seminar, and they essentially said that, whenever you're creating these contracts, it's really easy to be able to just kind of flip the script and have that contract reverse whatever the action is. So now knowing what I know about coding smart contracts and these the AI's ability to detect these vulnerabilities in the code? Why are people like Cold Wallet not being proactive and utilizing AI to already find and fix these vulnerabilities? Because maybe before it was too hard because humans coded that before, but now we have AI to be able to cross-check something. And if somebody can easily check your smart contract, find the vulnerability, deploy a contract on top of that to reverse the action of that vulnerability, and then route it through another wallet. That's literally all it's doing. So I just don't understand. Do I think other wallets are next? Do I think that there's going to be more of this? Absolutely. Why wouldn't there be? And now it's just opened a whole can of worms of like cold storage really isn't as safe as we all thought it was going to be, right? We've all said, oh, cold storage this and praise cold storage and, be self-sovereign. I say it all the time here on the channel. At the end of the day, it's really not that safe. It's really not that safe. But these companies who are already there, the companies that have users that hold user funds or have user funds or know that they need to keep user funds safe, why are they not doing something proactively? Like, they should be cross-checking everything they already have. They should be cross-checking. Yes, and shout out to Market Cipher. They're the sponsor on today's show, you guys. So Market Cipher, they have some fantastic trading tools, which I will not be pulling up today because I'm not pulling up my screen, but it is embedded. They have embedded into Trading View. So you add this in and it allows you to see multiple different tools to allow you to see different functionalities in trading to help you make the best decision with your trade. So my favorite is the Market Cipher Beeline. You guys know that. We talk about it here on the channel all the time. There is a ref link if you guys are interested in trying out Market Cipher. I do have a ref link in the description, and you guys are welcome to try Market Cipher yourself. I absolutely love it. It is a fantastic tool, and they've recently launched the My Cipher trading bot, and they've had a lot of success with it. They've had a ton of signups on it. I have not registered for the My Cipher bot yet, though. So I need to do that. That's on my radar. And the other sponsor on today's show, they are our friends over at Personas. You guys, I had a call with them and I got so jazzed after chatting with them yesterday. The team is really cooking. I'm super excited for the next phase of what they have coming. I'll be talking about it more this week, so I'm super excited about that. Let me see if I can pull open. Yes, I can. Oh my gosh, look at
voice clips, videos, and personal stories become the foundation of a personas, built from real memories. The people who know you best can add the moments only they remember. Stories, photos, voice notes, and milestones. With memory requests, nothing is added without approval. Every story is reviewed, accepted, and preserved with care. Personas is different by design, not built for attention, but built for meaning, connection, and legacy. It is not about replacing someone. It is about preserving the voice, wisdom, and love they chose to leave behind. A personas can grow through every chapter, from childhood to family to future generations, still adding to the story. This is Personas, a new way to share who we are, remember who we love, and keep stories connected. Personas, built for memories, designed for connections.
Isn't that cool stuff? I love what they're working on over there. So doubling down on the AI of social media and talking about what it's going to look like when there's more users on there that are working together and creating a social media network of connected people through their own AI avatars. Super excited about it, you guys. So I've got some stuff coming up this week. So thank you to Personas, our other sponsor on today's show. So yeah, you guys, the cold storage fiasco, do I think it's going to happen again? Absolutely. But do I feel like it needs to be like a catalyst of proactive changes that need to happen? Everybody needs to have some sort of cross-checking that takes place that allows them to just know that everything is safe because they don't want to be the next one. And Trezor is a perfect example. Everyone's always talked about the back door. Oh, we joke about the back door now. So Trezor, as you guys know, there's backdoor access through that, but it is not the only one. There are other cold storage solutions that offer a backdoor or a secondary solution. A perfect example of that is BitKey. BitKey is a hardware wallet. If I lose my hardware wallet, I can still recover my funds though. And then if I pass away, I can have a legacy person that's going to be able to take those funds over. So imagine like my brother was buying Bitcoin before he passed away, but it's like, well, what do you even do with that? Nobody even knows where his Bitcoin was or how to get his Bitcoin. It's just gone. The Bitcoin was gone with my brother. And so things like BitKey allow an ability for you to be able to have an inheritance of Bitcoin built in so that whenever you pass away, there is a secondary person who is authorized on the account to pull the Bitcoin off of there in the event that something happens. So, a debate about whether cold storage is actually cold storage, whether it's actually safe. At the end of the day, is it safer than a centralized exchange? Is it safer than FTX? I mean, is it safer than Celsius? I could go on and on and on. Is it safer than Mexi? There's all of these different exchanges where, depending on where you put your money, you could potentially lose your funds there. And at the end of the day, they keep saying like, oh, money's being released to people. Money's being released to people. Okay, here's a perfect example. My mom lost $250,000 in a Bitcoin scam with a fake online exchange. Now, there have been like what they call the butcher the pig scheme, which my mom was like a part of one of those, a victim of one of those, and she lost a significant amount of money in it. And so whenever there is news and I read about news of like, oh, they uncovered this ring and there was all these people and all this money was uncovered and blah, 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 blah. Where is the restitution for the people that lost the money? Where is the restitution for the people that lose their money? Now, at the end of the day, the people who lost money through the cold wallet hack, they're going to have a team of investigators that start to look into it and investigate the Bitcoin and try and track it down. But at the end of the day, it's going to get tied up into some court case, some legal battle. Those people aren't going to see their Bitcoin. Like, even if they track it down, even if it goes through some avenue where they're able to stop the funds, depending on where that Bitcoin goes, there's a possibility that the authorities can freeze the Bitcoins. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see, okay, now that this cold storage wallet hack happened, there's going to be a team of investigators working on it. There's going to be people who are trying to get these funds back, depending on if they convert them to a token like USDT, a stable coin, which has anti-terrorism, anti-money laundering. In order to be a stable coin through the Genius Act in the United States, you have to adhere to all these laws. So if there was a hack and all of this money was stolen, then naturally the US government's going to do what they can to try and stop the money and stop the funds and recover it. They recover it, right? They're going to recover it for the people that all lost their money. But do those people really get the money back? Or does it become property of the US government until they're able to pay the funds back? So I'm going to continue to watch it for a number of reasons. One, because will there be more hacks like it? Probably. But two, are they assigning people to stop the movement of the funds? If it goes to a centralized exchange, then they can potentially stop it there. There's multiple layers, and with just because it's a Bitcoin, it's still a public ledger, and so the investigation will be ongoing as to what's going on with that. So I'm going to continue to watch that, guys. So yeah, the hacker, yeah, is probably living on an island now. Yeah, and that's at the end of the day, the hacker could be living on an island, but if any of the Bitcoins are converted to stablecoin, the stablecoin has the ability to freeze the funds. So as soon as the flagged Bitcoin from the cold wallet hack gets flagged, then from the stablecoin, then he can't remove it, withdraw it, do all these things to it. And this is just part of like how they're trying to control the monetary system and prevent it from falling into the hands of terrorists. Now, think of like Lazarus hack. North Korea always gets involved, and they're starting to hack things, and they're getting their hands on cryptocurrencies. Like, U.S. government doesn't want that. U.S. government doesn't want North Korea getting their hands on a bunch of money. Iran is probably the hackers. At the end of the day, when I can remember my company sitting us down, the HR fell victim to a phishing scam and gave our private information to this phishing scam. And they sat us down and they apologized and we're so sorry. All of this information was given away to a hacker, and we're going to pay for Life 360 to or not Life 360. It was whatever the credit monitoring. There was like some credit monitoring thing, whatever that they were paying for. But at the end of the day, they sat us down and they were like, cybersecurity and cybersecurity crime is one of the biggest threats that we have to look forward to in the next coming decades. And at the time, I remember just being like, well, that's just like your personal data, stuff like that. But now when you look at it as like, countries are fighting over digital currency now. Like, there's only ever going to be 20 million Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin and its scarcity becomes more valuable. And as these other countries start to learn, hey, there's a way for us to get in on this, and we don't really have to put in a lot of effort, and all we need are people that can hack something. And so companies who are involved in cryptocurrency should know and be very aware that the threat of AI and AI hackers from terrorist organizations, from countries that don't necessarily like the U.S. government, they want these things, and we should be doing everything we can to protect it. Now, do I think it's a good thing that the Bitcoin price didn't really fluctuate based off of this? Absolutely. I think it's great. I think it's great that Bitcoin didn't crash to 45,000 because all of a sudden a cold storage wallet was hacked. So if there's another cold storage wallet hack, we shouldn't see the Bitcoin price dip too much. But here's why. Because there's only so much Bitcoin. And are they selling all of the Bitcoin just because that Bitcoin's been hacked? That's what you got to pay attention to. It would be if everybody starts to mass sell Bitcoin. So, especially companies that have a large supply of Bitcoin, you should be doing everything in your power to make sure that your Bitcoin is safe. Find ways to store it. Find ways to keep it safe. Find ways to make sure that the companies and the entities that you're storing your Bitcoin with are continuing to update their security protocols, because what is secure today is not necessarily going to be secure in 2 years' time. The definition of security is ever evolving with cryptocurrency, with hackers, with AI. Like, you have to continue to evolve your security measures as things change with technology. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to watch this. So now something else that's going on. Everybody's really surprised talking about the Japanese yen and the fact that we are buying yens in the bond market, and the U.S. government hasn't done that in close to 30 years. I think it's kind of a big deal. And here's why. We keep talking about our bonds and who's going to buy our T-bonds. And everybody was saying that there was going to be this huge financial collapse when our treasury bonds are up and no one wants to buy our treasury bonds, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, if the U.S. government is going out and buying T-bonds and trying to make sure that other companies are safe and saving the yen, then why wouldn't they do the same for us? What's up, Dutchie? Sorry, I need a drink. What about Blur USDT? Let's see. Wait, let me see if I could see that question. Or is it my Croatian Wi-Fi? Am I blurry? Am I blurry today, you guys? I might be blurry today. Hello, Dutchie, though. Welcome in. Welcome in. Live from my office today. From the office at home. You guys, I have till the end of August in my studio. So I'm going to be packing up my studio and moving stuff. I'm probably going to start running my live stream from here. The only thing I need to figure out is, and what I'm probably going to start doing is doing hardwire the Wi-Fi, because right now I'm just on Wi-Fi. I'm not doing like hardwire internet. But since I'm moving my entire office, studio, everything, I think I'm just going to bring all of the equipment and then hardwire the internet, and then that way I never have an issue with the unclear connection again. So we're constantly working, evolving, trying to make the show better. You guys, let me tell you what else I'm super excited about. One, I did the video about the Mission Basilica. I did not think that was really going to get many views. It got more than I thought it would. And it did really well over the weekend. So like Saturday, Sunday, I usually don't post on Saturday, Sunday, but I had a ton of views over Saturday and Sunday. So I'm so excited, closer than ever to hitting my watch goal. I'm almost monetized on YouTube. Thank you. Someone just said that they just subscribed to me. So free, I think it's Free Fallen. Free Fallen, thank you for subscribing to me. That's so sweet to you. So sweet of you. So I have a video that I'm working on for this week that I'm super excited about. I am going to go to another historic place, but it's going to be here in Bakersfield, and it's set up like a village, and it's got a lot of really cool history, stories tied to the buildings, and like it's just super old and creaky, and I haven't been there in a really long time, so I'm excited to go. They've recently added to it, and so I'm gonna do that because I think that will make a fun piece to walk around and see. There's good history to it, but there's more to it than the mission. Not that the mission wasn't great. I think the mission was beautiful. But this has more like a rugged history to it. Like, I mean, we're talking, you know, back 150 years ago when they used to hang you if you stole a cow or something from someone. So it's, I used to be able to see your comments and now they're gone. I'm really sad. So anyway, you guys, not a whole heck of a lot super exciting going on in the market today, which is okay. Bitcoin is up, which is good. Bitcoin price not affected by cold storage hack. The one thing we do have to worry about is, will AI ever be able to crack Bitcoin? If it's ever able to crack Bitcoin, if there's some way that that is hacked, it ultimately, I feel it leaves every cryptocurrency vulnerable, because once it cracks one, I feel like it's going to crack all of them. And right now, the other scary thing about cracking a blockchain and hacking a blockchain is the fact that a lot of the US government infrastructure is actually built on blockchain servers to keep it secure from other countries and things like that. And so if you start hacking cryptocurrency blockchain, well, then you can start hacking government's private blockchain, right? Like where they're sending and storing data and things like that. So it leaves you things to worry about and think about in the future. But at this point, you know, AI is still in its infancy, in my opinion. I feel like a perfect example is over the last week, it came to my attention that someone else is developing a similar program to Personas. And I was like just shocked because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And the Personas team is like, well, you know, it's really just to say that we have such a good product. Like we have such a good product, somebody else is trying to get there. But at the same time, you have to train your AI models. You have to get your AI models there. And so every new company that starts, every new AI model has to start from zero. It has to start learning. And the machine learning, it takes inputs, it takes time. And so we're still in the infancy of AI. And again, I still think that AI is in its point where it's smart because it's learned off of humans. It's taken the knowledge that humans have given it. I don't necessarily feel like it's some sort of like intelligence coming from another place, or that like intelligence has this, or that AI has its own consciousness, because you can see constantly online people challenging AI, and AI, it doesn't always work. Like the guy who gets AI to count to 100. AI can't count to 100. And, you know, measuring different things, AI can't do that. And it doesn't mean it's not going to get there, though. And so that's the whole thing is, if you've cracked a cold storage wallet, then what's next? Or you crack another cold storage wallet, you crack a blockchain. So I think people all need to be doing everything they can to make blockchain cybersecurity really important, high priority, top of their list. And it's weird because I've never been one, like I've always talked about self-sovereignty and of course security and just, you know, being just, I don't know, just kind of being clean with how you do things on the blockchain. But I feel like now more than ever, I feel like security is going to become ever so important. So if you guys are ever needing to do any sort of swapping, I do have a ref link with Silent Swap. You guys are able to swap between blockchains discreetly. So if you guys like not having a public ledger, then check out that ref link. And anyway, you guys, that is the show for today. I will be back tomorrow, potentially back in my studio, but if not, we'll be back in this beautiful office. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, smash the subscribe if you are new here, because I go live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.